Come and fly away with me. 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 Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die. So come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling,
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anime Zone. I'm here today to present to you my top 10 adult animes, and these are animes that are adult orientated for one reason or another, whether it be for scenes of violence, whether it be for scenes of sexual violence, whether it be for sexual comedy situations, sex jokes, and so many more reasons why they're on this list. But before I get into it guys, I want you to do me a favour, smash the subscribe button, tick a little bell notification next to it so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Now with all the formalities out of the way, let's get into it. And to kick off this list, I'll take you back to 1997 when the psychological horror film Perfect Blue was first out. Perfect Blue focuses on a character named Mima. She was a singer in a pop idol group called Cham, but she pursued an acting career a little later on in the film, and this is where the film starts to go very weird, very dark, very psychological, very scary in points, and it just had me on the edge of my seat what was going on. Mima starts to question herself because in her mind she doesn't know what's happening because things are happening all around her, and she starts to lose her psyche. As the film goes on, it does explain it a little more and we find out what is going on. People start getting killed in the film, people that are close to her, friends, and she just doesn't know what is going on, and she's like seeing another version of herself in the film, which is really affecting her psyche as a character. Now Mima for me was a great female character in the film, and it was just really dark, gritty, scary in points, and I actually was at a loss with this one. Sometimes my mouth was dropping in awe. I just couldn't understand what was going on. It's a great film, and it's definitely very not suitable for kids. I can say that with absolute clarity. It's definitely one that should be missed by adults only. Two clubs on beat are one of the toughest cities in the world is my number 9 choice, Mad Bull 34. Mad Bull 34 focuses on two main characters. The first character is John Estes, aka Mad Bull, a very tough streetwise cop, and he's later on partnered with his partner Daisubo Eddie Ban, an American born Japanese that teams up with him in the first episode of the series. But unbeknownst to Daisubo, his partner John is very not by the book. He will kill suspects in the most brutal ways. He will blow the heads off, shoot them to death, and so many other things that he will do in the series. And that's not the only thing. There's a lot of sexual scenes in this anime guys, so it's definitely one that should be watched with caution. Take caution in watching this, especially if you're quite squeamish about the violence and things like that. It's definitely not one for everybody, but I really found myself enjoying this one for what it was. It's got a lot of great action scenes, a lot of great fight scenes, and there's a plethora of bad language as well, so bear in mind that as well. But it is a 1990s anime. It's actually 1990. I was 10 when this first aired, and I just remember watching it a few years afterwards, and I was like hooked. I was engaged with what was going on. It is a great 4-part series, and it's one of my favourite cop animes of all time. Being wrongly accused of a crime he didn't commit, we have my number 8 choice, Dead Man Wonderland, a 2011 anime that I watched a few years ago. Now for those of you who haven't seen Dead Man Wonderland, it focuses on the character by the name of Ganta, who was wrongly accused of murdering his entire class in school, which in turn forces him to be sent down to prison life without parole or anything like that. But this prison isn't a normal prison. They use the prisoners there, I think death race, but they're using the prisoners there for their own gain, where they send up on these courses and everything, and it's like fight to survival of the fittest. And there is a lot of character deaths in this anime with the prisoners. The way that the prisoners get killed off is brutal, it's gruesome, it's disturbing, but we learn that Ganta has a special ability in the anime as the anime goes along. It's really quite fascinating to see him when he unleashes this ability, and he does get some kind of retribution, and he finds out who is actually responsible for the murders he was accused of. But sadly, it doesn't end on a good note, this anime. It ends very open, and it was left for a second season, but we didn't get it, and hopefully we may get it some point down the line. But nonetheless, that doesn't detract it from being very entertaining, very engaging, very gruesome, very grisly, and at some points I was just like, this is absolutely bloody disgusting, and I mean that in every sense. It was disturbing in some ways, and some of the characters, I was like, whoa, that was really gruesome how they died. It just blew my mind what this anime was getting away with. So if you guys haven't seen Dead Man Wonderland, I say give it a go, but be prepared to be waiting for a second season like the rest of us. But it is a good anime with some great characters and a great story, and it's very entertaining to see. Moving on to a 3-part horror series that started in 1986 and 1988, we have my number 7 choice, Violence Jack. Now, Violence Jack is about a character called Jack who fights violence literally with violence. It's set against a post-apocalyptic Japan, and it's overrun by bike gangs. Think of it like Mad Max but an anime version, but this anime pulls no punches. Innocent people get killed here, female characters get killed, children get killed, anybody does get killed, and it's very brutal in parts. But the way that Violence Jack handles the situations is just as brutal. It's got some great action scenes, some great horror elements, and it's very bloodthirsty to boot. Definitely not for the faint-hearted. I saw this years ago, and I really did like the first 2 volumes. The third one was okay in my opinion, but it was still a great series overall. All in all, Violence Jack is definitely one that I would recommend that you all give a go. Coming from a very dark anime to one of the most hilarious animes I have ever seen, we have my number 6 choice, Shimonetta, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist. Yes, that's the title of it. It is freaking absolutely hilarious. Basically, we have a character, Ayame, and she recruits a character by the name of Tanukichi to join her to help their school get back with the sexual urges that teenagers go through by introducing pornography, sexualized content, and it's all been taken away from the school. So these two are on the quest to get it all back into school and into the general public. This anime is freaking hilarious. The sexual jokes are a hit. The sexual conversations that they have is hilarious. The characters themselves are wacky, so full of life, so full of beans, and they are just a blast to see. I was laughing hysterically throughout this anime, and I just was like, it was a big burst of laugh. I was never forcing myself to laugh here, but it is very adult orientated. Some of the words that they use in the anime, you would have been caught seen dead in the street saying these in public. Very hilarious, but it's just a great anime, and I think it was released in 2015 if my memory serves me right. Bringing back another sci-fi horror film, we're going back to 1988, and we're going to go back to one of the first sci-fi anime films I ever watched, Akira. Akira is a story about a motorcycle gang that includes Kaneda and Tetsuo. One night Tetsuo comes off his bike and he gets whisked away to hospital, but unbeknownst to him and the rest of them, he's been experimented on to release the god Akira into the world. And Kaneda is the one who's actually on the mission to go and save Tetsuo. But it's a very gritty one, this. I mean, the things that they do to Tetsuo, it's just like, what the hell? I mean, the experiments that they do on the guy to just awaken this god, it's brutal and it's so disturbing. And it really messes Tetsuo's head up. And he gets his revenge on the scientists, but he goes out of control and he starts killing innocent people, goes on a rampage in the film. And these kids in the film that really have psychic powers and they can help stop him. It's a really good film, but it's definitely got some very bloodthirsty scenes. We see a character killed in front of one of the kids and he gets literally shot to bits. It's a good film and it's for a 1988 horror sci-fi film. I really did enjoy this one, guys. Bringing a little bit of horror now to the list, we're going to go with the 2006 10-part series Hellsing Ultimate. This one has to be on the list for so many reasons. For one, it's a badass horror series featuring one of my favourite protagonists in a horror anime, Alucard, aka Dracula, who is on a mission to prevent German Nazis from taking over the world and bringing on apocalyptic event. Really engaging story here with some great characters, great violence. It's just a blast to see and I really did enjoy this one. Now there's a lot of gratuitous violence and plenty, foul language, blood, gore, comedy. It's got a mission, everything here. If you like the original Hellsing back in the day, you have no reason not to check out Hellsing Ultimate. It is fantastic and it is why it is number 4 on the list. Keeping the whole thing going, we're going back to 1987 and 1990, which is two Devilman OVAs, coincidentally the first anime that I ever watched. The first one was 1987 Devilman The Birth, followed by 1990 The Demon Bird. Now Devilman focuses on the character Akira Fudo, who is approached by his friend Ryo in the first OVA, and Ryo proceeds to tell him that demons are taking over the world and he needs Akira's help to help deal with the situation. And Akira learns that the only way that he can deal with the situation is to actually meld with the demon and fight demons on equal terms. And that's where the plan is originally. But it doesn't go quite to plan because Akira is the only one who successfully melds with the demon, becoming Devilman. Plenty of violence here, plenty of comedy as well, but the way Akira, when he becomes a Devilman, defeats these demons, it's, my god, the violence is over the top, and it's just the way he seems to enjoy being brutal, ripping the demons apart. And for me, it was like a burst of adrenaline. I remember watching this years and years ago, and it, as I say, it was an introduction to anime as a whole, so I had to include this one on the list for that reason. Not only that, it's one of my favourite horror OVAs of all time, and it's one of my favourite animes of all time. I really do think that if you haven't seen Devilman The Birth and The Demon Bird, I would say go and check them out. They are definitely worth giving a go, and I guarantee you'll enjoy them. Kicking Ghost's asses on a one-way ticket back to heaven, we have my number 2 choice, Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt, a 2010 absolute over-the-top hilarious anime. Panty and Stocking are two angels from heaven but they've been kicked out of heaven for their foul language, foul behaviour, and the only way that they can get back into heaven is to exterminate ghosts and get coins to get back into heaven. But this anime was freaking absolutely hilarious. I found myself laughing hysterically at these characters. Panty and Stocking were just not your average heroes. They was very foul-mouthed heroes, and you wouldn't think that they was protagonists, but they were great. The energy that they had was hilarious. There was sisters and sibling rivalry, and there was fighting in the anime as well. And two of my favourite voice actresses of all time gave stellar performances as these characters. First of all, we have Jamie Marchi, the voice of Panty, in one of her finest roles, I think. And the second is Monica Rao as Stocking Anarchy. She just blew me away with her performance of that character. But as a whole, the anime is great, hilarious, jokes are funny, Panty's lewd nature, it's over the top, very sexualised with her character. Stocking is more of a goth chick and she eats all sweets and everything, and she's quite funny as well. I really can't stop talking about this anime. It's one I always recommend to people to go check it out. Definitely one of my favourite comedy animes. There's definitely a sex comedy anime as well, because there's so much sexual content in this one, as well as a ghost kicking ass as well. It's a great anime, so hilarious, and I highly recommend give this one a go, guys. You will not be disappointed with this one, especially if you're a fan of over the top comedy. It's wacky, truly wacky and bonkers. And here we are with the number one spot of my top 10 adult animes. And my number one pick for this video list is Urotsuki Doji, The Legend of the Overfiend and The Legend of the Demon Womb. These two anime films are exceptionally dark, exceptionally gritty, sexualized, violence, sexual content, and so much more is in these films. I don't want to go into too much detail because of the content of the film itself. It's way over the top. It's one of the most disturbing anime films I've ever seen. It's one that has got the most violence in an anime medium I've ever seen. It's got the most sexualized violence in an anime medium I have ever seen. And I can't remember the years that this one was made, released, but it is definitely very gritty, very dark, much more darker than Devilman, as I've mentioned previously. And there is some comedy here, but it's just here and there comedy. It's not by any means comedy anime at all. It's very dark, very horror focused, and it's demons trying to take over the world, but they have to mingle with humans in order to bring back demons. It's a very complex story, and it's one that is definitely worth having a watch, but you need to pay attention to this one because the story can get very confusing if you're not paying attention. It's a good anime film, a very dark one. Legend of the Demon Womb again is a very good one as well. It continues the story quite nicely. Both are good films and are both number one choice in my top 10 adult animes. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my top 10 adult animes, and I would love to know what you thought of my choices. Did you agree with my choices? Did you disagree with my choices? Do you feel like I missed anything out? Do let me know in the comment section. What is your top adult anime? Top 10, top 5, top 1? Comment below and let me know. I'm out here, my friends, but before I go, I do have a few things to say. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Anime Zone. My name is Lee. Like this video if you really enjoyed it, smash that subscribe button and tickle the little bell notification for when my videos go live. And stick around because I do have a bunch more videos coming very soon. Until the next video comes, guys, I'll see you all later. Peace, YouTube.